Hey everybody, welcome back to Quali-Tea time. It's gonna be well, it might be a short one. I don't have terribly much to talk about today, but what I do have to talk about today is relatively decent. So, FTBG will hopefully be finalized by Friday. Very much a fingers crossed kind of deal. It might very well be significantly longer than Friday, but all of the paperwork on our side has been handed in, funds have been transferred, so it's just a matter of the paperwork making its way through everything that has accrued in the market and such over centuries. Our systems really need a reboot at points, but yeah, you know, it's what we work with. Other than that, sewing project update. Did the twin of the top you saw last time, and I think they're both holding up okay. They've managed to go through a wash, so I guess I'm working on the top very soon. But there is one, you can sort of see him just poking into the bottom of the frame there. There is one person who has been in need of a bit of sewing repair for a while. So this is Fine Dog. He's a plush I have had for quite a while. I believe I got him in like 2017, because 2017 and 2016 were years. But for a while now, his mug here has been kind of loose and falling at his side, and making him look 800% more done with the world. Just because the thread holding it to his chest here kind of eventually unraveled or snapped, or I don't know what happened, but basically it just came undone. That's definitely not like a complaint against Topato, who actually like made him, but it was something in need of fixing, and I've tried fixing him before I started like practicing my sewing, and it lasted about a couple of days. So yeah, didn't go very well. I'm not 100% certain if this particular fix is actually going to hold, but I have fixed him again. The engineering portion of my brain says that I've fixed him through the weakest part of him, which is the part that already broke twice. So I don't know how well this will hold, but it's definitely a better stitch than the first time. So hopefully the answer is better. We'll see. But for now, this is fine. And onto the schedule. On Thursday night, 11 PM BST, we have more Destiny 2 in midnight. Then at 9 PM BST on Saturday, we have the Carousel, where we are continuing our open house policy for patrons. And lastly for the week, on Tuesday at 9 PM BST, we have more Building Blocks, where we're hopefully seeing progress with the lock picking and the locks and the crowbar. We'll see. And videos you might have missed for the week. Well, we have an episode of Dailies by Daylight as, well, things don't go according to plan in more than one way. And we also have a new bite-sized series, Various Oddities Showcase, showing off the new tinkerings of various oddities, beginning with the holy symbols and the lens of detection. And I actually don't have really any, like, questions for today, so if you have anything to ask me, drop it down below and we'll see if it gets answered next time. But what I did get recently was a comment on, I believe it was Various Oddities Showcase. Point of note, it's a little rude to drop into somebody's video comment and say, hey, your channel's dying, why is that? Or to the effect. Not gonna name names, not gonna send a horde down on anybody for that one, but just as a heads up, because we see the stats, we know what's happening. We don't need to necessarily be reminded of this fact. But I did get that comment, and it spurred me to sort of describe a few things that maybe deserve a little bit more consideration. So there's a few reasons why view numbers on the channel are down, and it's worth noting that the actual like watch times and such aren't. The actual watch times on my videos are pretty decent still. Sub counts dropped, but that's because of what I'll be talking about next, more or less. The main thing that's led to my channel seemingly going into decline, firstly, is that I'm doing less Minecraft. So there's like, a lot of people would have subbed to me during the boom kind of era a few years back, when I was somewhat tangentially crossing paths with a certain company who will go unnamed because they're awful. And now that I'm doing less Minecraft, and I'm also doing less videos as frequently, so naturally that viewership has dropped off, but those who are left are loyal and wonderful. But the big thing is the holy algorithm, as I frequently refer to it, which is how YouTube decides what videos to show you and whether or not you are actually subscribed to people. So the first part of that is that you will frequently be shown videos that are much like videos you have recently watched. Now, this can be from the same channel as a video you watched, like 2 seconds of, or it can be videos that are of similar content, or at least what the algorithm thinks is similar content. It will frequently pick up on like 10 seconds of audio occasionally, and will show you like 15 different orchestral compositions, but that's kind of the problem here, is the algorithm sucks. It also does not care when like a given channel last released a video. So if a channel releases a video, say, once every month, then you can watch every video it puts out, and it will pretty much never show up at all in the videos that YouTube shows you. Unless you hit the bell, which then completely defeats the point of a subscription, which is Weirdness. I'm not running Google. All I know is that YouTube is written on horror code, and badly needs more or less torching to the ground and starting anew. So there's majorly two ways that creators can get seen, and thereby increase their viewership and their subscriber counts and all this stuff that really honestly doesn't matter very much because ad revenue has died tremendously. They can make videos that are consistently huge, which is say they get a lot of views, they get a lot of comments, that kind of thing, and the two ways you do that are you make viral videos and you make clickbait, in short. Viral videos more or less rely on incepting a meme, so it's pretty much impossible to engineer because you never quite know what the zeitgeist is going to pick up. It's frequently noted that manufacturing viral videos is basically impossible. You can't do that reliably at the very least. So, what you can reliably do is clickbait, which is videos and titles and such that say something outrageous, or follow a meme, or lead you to believe there's something in the video that there might not actually in truth fully be. Neither of these things, however, are things that you want to see from me, so let's go to the other way that you get to be popular on the YouTubes, and that is by making a lot of videos, like 5 to 7 a week, if not more, if you can. Now, that's possible. I can't say that's not possible, but it's definitely a higher order kind of creativity. And the people that do it are still nonetheless working basically non-stop. So, it's not something I can do. I used to make 5-ish videos a week, no problem. I was also a teenager, or like early 20s, and as it happens, I'm a nearly 30-year-old autistic guy, so there's not as much that I can do. And also my standards have risen, which means if I was actually going to be putting out videos that I was proud of frequently, I would never sleep or eat and probably not bathe. So hey, thank goodness you can't smell me. Although I'm fine right now, just so you know, just moving past that point. The next question, I guess, has to come up here is, how am I surviving? The answer is, I am heavily detached from the algorithm. I do not rely on the algorithm for any of my content. In fact, I'm very annoyed when I somehow make money from YouTube itself, because it means I'm somehow associated with that part. So, the vast bulk of my economics comes in through Patreon. That's patreon.com/lying. There's about 25, 30-ish people there supporting me, and they're all wonderful, and they're all pretty much long-time supporters. And if there's a point where I need to increase my, like, income and stabilize and whatnot, it's Patreon. It's where I get it. That's another person on Patreon is like a bill paid for me, so that's pretty decent. The other side is Twitch. I stream very regularly over on Twitch. Twitch has the capacity to give me bits and donations directly, which means that you get to bypass all of the weirdness of ad revenue on YouTube and such, and you don't necessarily need to worry too much about 1,000 people seeing your stuff. Basically, YouTube is very little in my enterprise at this stage, which is why you don't tend to hear me call myself a YouTuber. I generally tend to call myself a content creator, because I'm creating a lot of different things in a lot of different spaces. So, yeah. I am fine. The channel is smaller, sure, quieter, sure, but it's fine. It's serving its purpose and doing it admirably for the time being. Who knows, maybe one of these days I'll jump to Vimeo or something. But most likely that'll be when Google finally collapses somehow. But yeah, that's how the system works. YouTube is, looking at it critically and objectively, YouTube is a bad place to be a creator. If you are trying to make a living as a creator, there are much better avenues to do that. YouTube is more or less just a dumping ground. If you want to be big on YouTube, you pretty much have to destroy yourself. You either need to be an unabashed memer, or you need to start drama, or you need to burn yourself into the ground, making content rapidly of a decent quality. And it's just not worth it, because the ad revenue that you get from YouTube is pennies. Literally, at the peak of my YouTube revenue, I was making enough money to buy a pizza once or twice a month. Ish. So, it's only gotten worse since then, so don't bother, is my statement there. You can be a YouTuber, but you probably should try to be other things as well, if you want to actually survive economically and emotionally. But I'm a lot happier now. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm doing a lot of different stuff that's not necessarily the stuff that gives me huge, returns on YouTube and stuff, but it's fun. And now you get to see a little bit more of that with Various Oddities Showcase. But that's me yammering, so I shall hope you have all enjoyed, and I'll cut the video here, so catch you all as ever next time.